Gilligan did nothing wrong. Hey, friends. Baseball season has officially gotten underway, so I thought I'd review a baseball movie for you. So this time, we're talking about The Babe from 1992, a biopic about the mighty baseball legend, Babe Ruth. Our story goes like this. A young Babe Ruth is brought to what amounts to a reform school by his dad and dumped there. He's a troubled kid, but one day, one of the brothers in charge, Brother Matthias, recognizes Ruth's ability at the game of baseball. Flash forward several years, and now Ruth gets out of the reformatory thanks to Matthias and the owner of a baseball team. Ruth begins building his legend. Young Ruth is uncouth and completely out of place in the outside world, something he never fully outgrows. But he knows how to play ball, both as a slugger and, as many people forget, as a pitcher. As his success grows, one day he meets a cute waitress named Helen and clumsily sets out to win her over. Somehow, he does. But while Helen makes every effort, she finds marriage to Babe Ruth to be rather a trial. He's living fast, parties and boozes on booze. She's not up for this wild life. Even when Ruth manages to adopt a baby daughter for her, he refuses to settle down. Along the way, he meets a former showgirl from the Ziegfeld Follies named Claire, and they have an affair. Eventually, things come to a head with her husband always away, fooling around and partying, and Helen files for divorce. That's okay, because Ruth can marry his lover now. This is a marriage that lasts, as Claire understands the Bambino in a way Helen never did. As time passes, Ruth's hard living begins catching up to him, leading to crises on and off the baseball field. But he straightens himself out, loses weight and knuckles down, burnishing his mighty record. But all things must sadly come to an end. As he ages, he can't even run the bases anymore, and his talents seem to have abandoned him. And it's only by a major effort does he manage one more miracle in his last game. In our cast, we have a few name brands. John Goodman from Roseanne plays the Babe, and he didn't think his performance was really up to it. He's okay, though. He really shines, especially in the last third of the picture as Babe Ruth, when Ruth faces setbacks and defeats as time and hard living start catching up with him. James Cromwell plays Brother Matthias, who first sees Ruth's potential. Not a standout role, perhaps, but he's James Cromwell, so you don't care about that. Even when that guy was phoning it in, he was good anyway. Trini Alvarado plays Ruth's first wife, Helen. She was also in The Frighteners and the 1996 version of Little Women, which I've reviewed elsewhere on the channel. I rather liked her here. Her reluctance to take up with Ruth and her frustrations at the antics he gets up to in his way of life are all very well handled. She's quite good. We have Kelly McGillis as the other woman and eventual second wife of Babe Ruth. She plays the former Ziegfeld girl very well. Really liked her turn in this. McGillis was in several marquee pictures like Witness, The House on Carroll Street, The Accused, and of course, Top Gun. Peter Donat is here as Frazee. He was in lots of films over his long career, such as The China Syndrome, The War of the Roses, Mazes and Monsters, The Missiles of October, The Hindenburg, another film I've reviewed, and many, many more. He also played Fox Mulder's dad on The X-Files. And finally, we have Bruce Boxleitner from Tron, Babylon 5, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, and Bring 'Em Back Alive. Remember that? He's okay here, but he's just basically there. His character pops up now and then, but he doesn't really get too much to do as Babe's friend and teammate. The Babe was directed by Arthur Hiller. Hiller helmed School Ties, The In-Laws, Love Story, Teachers, The Lonely Guy starring Steve Martin. Man, I gotta get around to reviewing that one. He directed The Silver Streak, The Out-of-Towners, and just on and on and on. So, where does this movie fall down? Well, I don't think it's Goodman's performance. He's very good, especially later on, as I say. I don't think it's the cast at all. The production design is excellent. The direction is certainly competent, but the movie does feel strangely thin, though. I can't quite quantify why that is. Perhaps it's because they treat the legend as a legend. And it's a PG film, so when Ruth does bad things, he's not really being bad, he's just maybe stressed out and thoughtless. The film goes so far as to even perpetuate myths about Babe Ruth that were incorporated into his legend, such as calling his shot in one game. He didn't actually do that. He actually just held up a finger and said, "I've just got to hit one more," or something like that, and then hit a homer on the next pitch. But everyone took that as he called his shot. That and promising to hit a homer for a kid in the hospital. Way more myth than fact, but both are presented as factual here. I don't think any of this sinks the picture, though. It's obviously a love letter to the Bambino, and a very well-made one. There were several baseball movies that came out around this time, the late 1980s and early 1990s. Bull Durham, A League of Their Own, Field of Dreams, 8 Men Out, Rookie of the Year, Cobb, another biopic I've reviewed, even Major League. Baseball and its inherent nostalgia seemed to be on the upswing, and America's pastime was enjoying some time in the sun, as were other properties. Dick Tracy, The Phantom, The Rocketeer, The Shadow, Memphis Belle, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, even Felix the Cat, Tom and Jerry. Things from the past or set in the past, from back in the day, seemed to be all the rage, including the fashion and look of the '89 Batman, all hearkening back to a simpler time, Americana and nostalgia. This was a great time to be a moviegoer. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, and again. The 1990s were the last truly great era of Hollywood. Unlike today they just want to tear everything down, and nothing from the past has any value. So nothing connects with the broad general audience who wants a bit of nostalgia, rose-colored glasses notwithstanding. Is it any wonder why modern Hollywood is failing? This here Blu-ray comes with 4 vintage short subjects, all featuring the real-life Babe Ruth giving kids tips on how to play baseball. So you get to see the Babe in training. These are fun and showcase the real-life Babe Ruth's love of kids and his sense of humor. This movie generally gets middling reviews, overshadowed by bigger hits like Field of Dreams. But as baseball movies go, I thought this one was pretty fair. The cast is good, the costuming, the production design, all of that is flawless. The look and feel of early 20th century America is right on target. Perhaps they do treat the legend Babe Ruth with kid gloves, but I still thought it was a fair biopic. While The Babe may not be a home run, I think the movie deserves maybe a triple. Extra bases for sure. So I'm giving The Babe 2 3/4 paws up. Well worth a watch. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.